Hello, all. It is time for the daily read aloud, the daily chapter of the first rule of punk. Um, if you'll remember the previous chapter, Malu and Joe had finally made up after Malu blew up on him about him forgetting that flyer there. We've been talking a lot about character traits, and I use my thinking voice, and I think about Malu blowing up like that, and I just think there is no need for that. Like, she's such an angry youth. There's no need to blow up on your friends like that. So, chapter 31, the band is almost back together. We have to see if she can reconcile with Ellie and Benny as well. Let's see if she does. Chapter 31. I sent a text message to everyone asking them to meet at our table in the cafeteria on Friday. And then I worried that no one would show up. I was so nervous that I stuffed my worry dolls into the pocket of my jeans to have them with me at school that day. I decided to go to the cafeteria a few minutes late, just in case no one came. Eating alone wasn't fun. Eating alone because you got stood up was worse. But when I peered in through the cafeteria window, I could see Ellie's red hair. She sat next to Benny, who sat across from Joe. I skipped the lunch line and headed straight for the table. "Look who's here," Joe said, dipping his spork into his mashed potatoes. "How's it going, Maria Luisa?" Benny looked up and nodded. Ellie said hello, but didn't smile. "Can I join you?" I asked. "You called the meeting," Benny said. Joe patted the seat next to him. I sat down and took a deep breath. This was even worse than the nerves I felt when I sang. At least those were excited, happy nerves. These were the kind of nerves that made me feel like my insides were being squeezed. "I need to meet with Mr. Jackson about organizing a canned food drive for the holidays," Ellie said. "So what's this about, Malu?" She had the same intense look as the last time we were together in the cafeteria. "Okay," I said, wondering if they could hear my heart pounding. "I know you guys are angry with me, and I don't blame you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry." "Sorry about what?" Joe asked, urging me on. "I'm sorry I overreacted about Joe leaving the flyer in the copy machine," I said. "And I'm sorry I didn't fight to keep our band together." "That's great, thanks," Ellie said, gathering her trash onto her tray and standing up. "I have to go. I'll see you guys." "Wait," I said. "I'm not done." I dug out a yellow business-size envelope from my bag. I'd spent the night working on a zine and had gotten to school early to see if Mr. Baca would let me make copies before homeroom. I pulled the 3 zines out of the envelope and handed them one each. "What's this?" Benny asked, flipping through it. "It's a zine I made about the band," I said. "I totally understand if you guys don't want to do that talent show anymore. But if you still do, I would really like that." In that moment, I felt like I was sitting behind an x-ray machine, and everything inside me was on display. My pounding heart, my scrunched up stomach, all my hope, but mostly just a lot of fear that they wouldn't want to be part of the band anymore. I watched and waited as they each looked through the pages. Ellie closed her zine first. I held my breath, waiting for her to say something. The zine was my version of the Wizard of Oz. Ellie was the brainy scarecrow, Benny was the courageous lion, and Joe was the Tin Man, all heart. I almost made Selena the Wicked Witch of the West, but decided to give the part to Principal Rivera. Mrs. Hidalgo was Glinda, and I was Dorothy, of course. We traveled down the yellow brick road together, our destination being the Alterna Fiesta. "This is really cool, Malu," she said. "I'm glad we're a band, too, and I'll gladly be your scarecrow." "Does that mean you still want to see this thing to the end?" I asked. Ellie came around the table and hugged me. "You know that's the only way I roll," she said. We both laughed. I gave her a big smile. "Well, you already know I'm down, Maria Luisa," Joe said. "What about you, Benny?" We all turned to Benny. He was the only one of us who was a real musician, and we needed him. "Benny," I said, "I know you could have played with anyone at the Fall Fiesta Talent Show, but you picked our band. That means a lot to me, and I'm sorry I acted like it didn't." "The band may just be something you're doing for fun," Benny said, "but I take music seriously. So, yeah, it was disappointing." "It's important to me, too," I said, hoping he would see that I was being genuine. "Please say you'll play with us." "Please?" Joe asked, batting his eyes at Benny. "Pretty please," Ellie chimed in. Benny resisted, but a smile slowly formed on his face. "Fine," he said. "The courageous lion can't let you knuckleheads go out there alone." "Yeah!" I jumped out of my seat and did a little dance. "The Cocos are back, baby!" One of the lunchroom monitors shot me the stink eye. I gave her a shy wave, and I slipped back into my chair. "Practice today?" Benny asked. "We should get one more in since we've blown the whole week. The Cocos are never going to be a real band if we don't practice." "Yes, Maestro," Joe said. "He's right," I said. "Meet at Joe's after school?" "For sure," Ellie said. "But now I do really have to go. Mr. Jackson's waiting for me in the library. Can I come with you, I asked. I can help with the canned food drive. You don't have to, Ellie said, picking up her bag and tray. I'm doing the band anyway, and I know canned food drives aren't exactly punk. Helping people is totally punk, I said and grinned. It is. Realizing that not only did I really want to help, but that would be a chance to get to know Ellie better, too. Well then, yeah, Ellie said. I won't turn away help. We said goodbye to the boys, but as we walked away, I thought of something. I'll meet you there, I said to Ellie. I need to ask Joe something. Joe was in the lunch line, grabbing another carton of chocolate milk. I passed the Candy Cruise table and hoped I wouldn't get stopped by Selena. What is that? I heard Diana squeal. She peeked over Selena's shoulder at the screen of her phone. I caught a glimpse of the screen where a girl with super curly hair, really big like the hair on Senora Aurelia's toilet paper dolls, danced. She wore a green dress with round, flouncy skirt and white ankle socks, and as she stomped and kicked her heels, her curls bounced like each one had a coil inside. It's Irish dancing, Selena said, quickly turning off the phone so the screen went blank. Why are you watching that weirdo dancing? Diana asked and laughed. I could see Selena's face redden as she stood up and shoved the phone into the back pocket of her jeans. I'd never seen Selena look embarrassed, so I did the only thing you do when you notice something shocking. I stared. Selena noticed, and her eyes bugged at me. What? She asked. I looked away and quickened my pace. Thought you were going to collect cans, Joe said, wiping off a chocolate milk mustache when I walked up. I am, I said, but I need you to help me with something tomorrow morning. Early. Can you come over? He looked at me suspiciously. Am I going to regret it? It's nothing bad, I said. I promise. I'll be there, dude. Thanks, I said, relieved. This was definitely a job I couldn't do alone. It was nice to have a friend to count on. Cocos are back, baby. Woo! We knew they would be, I'm sure. I mean, making a prediction for those of you that were in a whole group lesson yesterday. I mean, we've all seen these kind of stories. The book, unless it's a really depressing piece of literature, it's not going to end with the band not getting together. But the exciting part is seeing how they get back together. That's the action of this book. Like your narratives that you're working on, you've got your problem, okay? And every chapter in this book has a problem, kind of. It's a plot to every chapter. And the problem was, how's the band going to get back together? And it's not told through intense action like fist fights. It's told through emotional dialogue. I'm glad they're back together. All right. I can't wait to see how it goes. I'm looking forward to the Alterna Fiesta.